Welcome. Trauma is my jam, and by that I mean I help you understand what your body is doing. Let's make sense of it together.
You can't change the behavior until you change the state your nervous system is in. This is where so many people get stuck. We try to change behavior by trying harder, using willpower, setting rules, holding ourselves accountable, and for a little while, it might work. But then the behavior comes back, and it feels like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just stick to this? When you look at this through a trauma-informed lens, it starts to make sense though. Because what we talked about earlier this week, behavior is state dependent. And in the last video, we talked about how behaviors like addiction are often about relief. So if the behavior is helping your system regulate, even temporarily, your brain is going to keep coming back to it. So you're not going to try to stop a behavior. You're trying to override a nervous system state. And that's why it feels so hard. If your system is overwhelmed, you got anxiety, disconnected, or stressed, your body is going to look for something to change that state. So the behavior shows up. Could be scrolling, could be avoiding, it could be using a substance, overthinking, shutting down. And again, it doesn't show up as failure. It shows up as a learned solution. Because at some point, that behavior worked. It created relief, it reduced intensity, it helped your system cope. So instead of asking, why do I keep doing this? How do I stop this? We shift the question to, what state am I in right now? What is my system trying to regulate? What does my body actually need? Because when you can change the state you're in, your behavior starts to lose its job. So this might look like your system needs calm. Slow it down if you can. Your system is overwhelmed. Reduce stimulation. Step away, lower the noise. Take a moment for a break by yourself. If your system feels unsafe, orient. Look around. Bring yourself back to the present moment. Remind yourself where you're at. If your system is dysregulated, breathe. Longer exhales, then a slightly longer exhale is the key to signal your parasympathetic nervous system that you're safe. And even small shifts like pausing, stepping outside, drinking a glass of water, my favorite, moving your body and shaking it out. These aren't random. They are ways of giving your system what it's actually asking for. And that's just a small moment of pause, safety, and regulation. You see, the behavior isn't the problem, it's the signal. And when you respond to the signal instead of fighting the behavior, that's where the change starts to happen. So when your nervous system starts to feel different, your behaviors will naturally begin to shift as well. Not because you force them to, but because they're no longer needed in the same way. And that's the work that we're trying to do when we're dealing with addictions, is we are trying to shift our system into a different state so that it's not seeking that relief from the behavior or the substance. And eventually, the more often that we can be in a regulated state, the less likely we're going to have that urge and call upon that need for relief. And that is how we start to break chains of addiction. Okay, my friends, if you want to learn more about trauma and addiction, we have an excellent program at Insight Learning Institute that I highly recommend that you can check out. It's online, it's fairly reasonable in price, and I think it's an excellent program. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested in learning more. And if you feel called for some more personal support, you can work with me one-on-one. My information is in my bio. Wherever you are in your journey, Remember, you don't have to do this alone, and I am honored to walk alongside you.